Hello again. So, before we jump in on the journey and all the tools that I want to share with you, I want to tell you about how this all started. It started in 2015, or actually, it probably started before that, but that 2015, I broke down completely. And that's when it was a wake up call. So in 2015, I was already a mother of 2 kids. My kids were still little. I had just finished my bachelor's degree before that, and I started working. I was working full time with 2 kids. My husband was working full time and studying and working on his degree, and it was just a very busy life, I have to say. And I wasn't sleeping very well. And like most parents, I guess, I did everything for my family. I was always there for my kids, and it just always seemed like it's not enough. Then I had to deal with this feeling inside of me that I'm not doing enough, but financially I needed to go to work, and I did like working. I have to say that too. So it was a constant struggle within me to find the right thing to do. So I was putting in all of me, and I was completely disregarding any signs that my body was telling me, because there were signs that were like I wasn't sleeping, for example. It's a good sign that something is not well. Something needs to be done. I was not listening to these signs. And one night in 2015, my daughter was sick, and she was throwing up all over the place, and I ran down to help her. And after I took care of her, I started getting sick myself. I ran to the bathroom, and I just folded down on the floor. I folded down, and I could not move. I sat there for several minutes, and I was completely paralyzed. I could not move. I could not say anything. I couldn't call for help. My husband ran after me, and later he said that as I was standing there, basically on all fours, my face was completely green, and I couldn't move. He was trying to call me. I couldn't even move my head to look at him. It took about a few minutes. I couldn't even tell you how long it took. It just took a few minutes, and then I started moving again. He helped me out. I got up, he helped me out. And that followed by crazy racing heart, and it wouldn't stop. If any of you know anxiety attacks or panic attacks, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's that racing heart, and you just can't stop. I'm sure it had something to do with the fear, because I was standing there on all fours and completely lost control of my body. I was scared shitless, to say the least. I've never experienced this kind of fear before, I don't think. So as we got out, I started talking after a little while. I said to him, I think I had a stroke, because that's the only thing that I could think of that would make me feel that way. And then, but my heart, it wouldn't stop racing. I think I must have had a panic attack because of what happened to me in that bathroom. I didn't know what it was, so it created a panic attack, and it was just kind of creating this cycle. I felt my heart racing and it wouldn't stop, so my husband packed me up and took me to the hospital. Of course, as we got to the hospital, they checked me out, blood tests, everything you can possibly think about, and nothing was wrong with me. Physically, I was completely healthy. Everything checked out perfectly. They said to me, you probably had a panic attack, followed by hyperventilation. Possibly. I never experienced this before, so I will just say, okay, that's what it was. That was definitely my body's cry out for help, cry out to change, cry out that something needs to change. You cannot go on like this. That was one of the most horrible experiences I've ever had. I was so scared. There were so many thoughts going through my mind. What happens to my kids if I don't get out of this? As I was at the hospital, they gave me prescription medication, of course, to calm me down, which was absolutely right at that point because I could not calm myself down. And I was put on very strong medication. And for the next 6 weeks, I was taking these pills, and I would take one, eat something, drink, and then I would lay down and sleep. And I slept for about 4 weeks. Basically just slept. I didn't do anything. I couldn't take care of my kids. I wasn't there for my family at all. My mom was there, thank God. And she was there and she helped, and it's great to have your family around you, and I'm so grateful for that. So for 4 weeks I was just sleeping. After 4 weeks I started, my doctor started lowering my dosage, and they put me on a different kind of medication that didn't have that effect that puts you out. But it was more of antidepressant kind of medication. So for about a year I was taking antidepressants, and sometime in the summer I was sitting at the playground with my mom and my sister, and our kids were playing, and I was looking at them, and I noticed that everything around me, my kids and my mom and my sister, it was like I was seeing them on a TV screen. It was like I wasn't part of that picture. I know that it was part of the medication. And just taking the medication, it just took me so out of my life. I didn't know what was going on, really. I started going to work after about 6 weeks in total, and I come to work and I worked with clients. I worked in real estate, so we rent out dormitories to students. So I have a lot of customer interactions every day, and it was so horrible because of the medication that I was taking. My hands were shaking all the time, and I had to drink all the time. I couldn't speak for a long time because I wasn't completely healthy. But I don't know, I went back to work, and I guess I wanted to feel like everything was okay and normal. So I just went and dealt with it. So for about a year I was in this strange state, and even during that time I was going to work, and I did know kind of what was going on around me, but I didn't enjoy my life or anything. It was just a very dark, low time in my life. But you know what? I've learned to be grateful for that time, because if I hadn't experienced that, I would have not been where I am today. And this is one of the biggest lessons that I've learned from throughout my whole transformational journey, is that you have to be grateful for every experience, no matter how painful, and no matter whether or not you understand why it happened to you. You just embrace the fact that everything that happens leads us to the path that we're supposed to follow. And I truly believe that we do have guidance. And when I found that for me, I started to feel incredibly strong, because I know I'm never alone. I know that I have guidance. I know that there is forces in life that are much stronger than we can even imagine, and just that absolute trust in your own power to change things, in the guidance that we receive from our higher self. And I don't know if you believe in angels, spirit guides. I do. Finding all that was such an incredible change for me. it gave me so much power. I started to enjoy life again, and I'm still somewhere in the beginning of this journey, even so I've been on this journey for quite some time. But I want to share with you all the tools that took me here, and I will go through it step by step with you. Just, I think that sometimes when we hear someone else's story, then it helps us understand ourselves better, you know. Like, I always felt different as a child already. I'll come to that story one day. And if you always feel different, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. I've learned that in my journey, and we'll talk about this more later. But this is basically why I created Mila's Journey to Self. I want you to listen and to see that even if your life is not perfect, you can find purpose in your life, and you can find the light in your life no matter how horrible it is. Just learn to be grateful for everything that comes your way. So if you want to follow me on this journey, then please subscribe and follow me, and if you think it could help someone else, then please share. And I'll be back with another video very soon, and we'll start going through all the tools that I've learned this far, and I'll be more than happy to share with you. And if you have any questions, please write to me, DM me, we can talk about anything. For now, thanks for listening. I'll see you soon. Bye.